I like that you started with giving yourself some grace. I feel better because, like, the past 2 weeks, I have not been active. I've been so exhausted, and I think that would segue me sort of into our one of our final questions, right? About, and I'm saying it so I don't forget, but about like balancing, because it's not just balancing your 9 to 5 with entrepreneurship, but outside of that, you also have like other relationships with friends, with family. And I think that's something I've also personally struggled with, where it's either one thing is I'm doing one thing really well and something else is suffering. Like just finding that balance has been really difficult. So doing 9 to 5 and entrepreneurship is already hard enough, but then you have like family back home you have to call. You know, you have people who maybe they're having weddings, you have to travel. Like there's one thing or the other. So we'll come to that, but I just want to reiterate your 3 tips for those who are watching this or listening to it via Spotify. So she said, have systems, and those systems will inform your time management. And I know a lot of people struggle with time management. I have my planner next to me. If I don't use my planner, I will fail. Like I
Tell
have
me
to
about
write,
it.
and
Yeah.
people have different, time management ways they track their time. Some people like using a calendar on your phone will work. It does not work for me. If I pick up my phone, I'll be on social media because it's part of my job. But then I also just get lost in the scrolling. But
Yeah.
actually having like a physical planner, so I'm that person that has to see a check. I feel very fulfilled when I get to strike out like something that I've done during the day or I've checked it out. And I found that every single time that I write down what I have to accomplish during the day, I actually get it done.
Yeah, because
Every
it's
time I
kind of like you're writing out a promise to yourself, right? And if you go back to your checklist at the end of the day and you don't see at least one check mark, it almost feels like you gave up on
I have
yourself.
not done anything. No, and that's facts, right? So actually just consciously making that a daily effort because I know that it works.
Yeah.
I didn't use it for like months and I saw the huge difference and I picked it back up like I think 3 weeks ago or something and it's been absolutely amazing. So anyways, basically finding what sort of time management system works for you and sticking to it. And then the third thing you said was delegation. The fourth one was accountability check, but I want to dwell a little bit, maybe 1 minute or two on delegation. So my audience is specifically, don't wear my wedding ring. I'm married, guys. Anyways, I just feel like my hand is so big. What's happening? Anyways, that's pretend that didn't happen. Anyway, so to delegation, right? My audience is primarily small business owners, and one thing that you would hear is a common complaint, especially for those just starting out, is funds, money. And the reason why people get burnt out or exhausted is because, I mean, you're running a business and your business has different departments and you're heading all of those different departments. But the truth of the matter is you're not good at everything, right?
Yeah.
So you might be good at making your product, but you're not a website designer. We all know you're not a website designer, but somehow, like you said, everything is on YouTube. But you know what? The fact that something is on YouTube, and I know people are watching this on YouTube, I'm the exception. But the fact that something is on YouTube and someone is teaching and training you how to do it does not mean you can do it. I can tell you this because the past 2 weeks I've tried to build my website. Guys, I am failing. I have not built a single page. It's been extremely difficult, right? So the fact that people are showing you on YouTube how to build a website, as long as anyways, let me just say, but let me not out myself too much because I'm still trying. But that's to tell you that the website is coming. I've paid for the domain. But my point being, there's a lot of like financial constraints. So although folks want to be able to delegate, it's very hard to delegate these days because everyone's charging for their services. And please, everyone should charge for your services, right? I know back then when I was younger, it's like 3 years ago. It's like 3 years ago. I think when you're in that university phase, everybody's still young. Like it's so much easier to get people who want to volunteer with you and like build a business with you, like just your friends with in different like fields. Like I remember my friend who I had messaged 2 weeks ago. Fikayo, if you're watching this, is you. I had messaged 3 weeks ago to ask him to help me with my website, and he ghosted me. It's you. Anyways, I'm just joking, but I'm still coming for you. But my point being, like, then people have time on their hands, so now it's not easy to find someone who will actually volunteer to do these things for you. If it's not paid, a lot of times you're not going to get someone, right? So how would you, or even you personally, like how have you managed? I mean, having the 9 to 5, I guess, helps with paying for things too, right? But how have you managed like the financial aspect that comes with delegating work to other people?
So for me, like you mentioned, having a 9 to 5 definitely helps. It's rough out here for anyone who is just jumping straight into entrepreneurship and doesn't have another source of income, because entrepreneurship isn't easy. There are good days, there are bad days, there are highs and lows, beautiful days, ugly days, you name it. So for me, it's good that I have a second source of income. However, my second source of income isn't solely to fuel my business,
Yeah,
right? Because I have like bills to pay
bills, yeah,
and other dreams and things that I want.
travel.
Exactly. Travel is very, very important. So what I do is I do a lot of research. I think sometimes I even overanalyze stuff, and I research stuff to death sometimes. I do a lot of research, and I come up with the average figure it would cost me to pay for a certain service that I need. And I save towards that. So if it's going to take me like 3 months or 6 months to save and get what I need, I'll diligently do that. It might look like, it's such 6 months is such a long time, but hey, time is flying faster than the summer's rain. Like we're already in May. I can't believe it. Like I still remember saying, Santa
Merry
tell me, I still remember singing all of that and everything. I remember, cooking a turkey for Christmas, for goodness sake. So, but time is flying by fast, right? So I save. So I save towards my business goals. But I think a resource that people really need to realize that they have access to is business grants or a business
Please say it
loan.
again. Say it again. Free money. I said
business
below, it's not
grants,
free.
yeah, business grants and business loans. Yes, like Stephanie said, a loan is not free, but the grants, to a degree, it's free. I mean, just FYI, if you do get the grant, expect Uncle Sam to collect his tax cuts eventually, right? So it's
Yeah.
not free money, right? So just putting it out there.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of money out there. Just the other day with the Canada 2024 budget that came out. So using Black Canadians as an example, there is a fund to the tune of 9 figures to help Black entrepreneurs. You just have to apply for it, right? And the fund is available. I think the money has been like over 5 years, from 2020 to 2025. Don't quote me, guys. Go do your
Go
research.
do your research. Yeah.
Go do your research. But there are funds out there. I remember one of my friends, she applied for a product-based business, and she applied for the Shea Moisture Dream Fund.
I think that
And
one is even open right now.
it's open right now. I
It's
did
open
see
right
it the
now. Yeah.
other day. The Shea Moisture Dream Fund, and she got $10,000. And with that $10,000, she's been able to delegate her website. She's been able to delegate her marketing. She's been able to delegate her product packaging. Applying for grants has given her the leverage and freedom that she needs to expand her business, right? So there are other ways that you can find resources to help you when it comes to your business. And when it comes to business loans, if you are 1000% sure that the business that you are starting is not just, you're not just trying to prove a concept, or you're not just playing around to see
It's not
how
just
well
a
it's going
hobby.
to
Like,
go.
this is serious. You know
It's
that
serious. A
viable.
business loan, yes, I know it's debt, but a business loan can actually help you. Like we are not all born with like a silver spoon. I don't have anywhere that I will go to and be like, hey, I need $500,000 and I'm going to get it tomorrow. Like, no. So we are trying to build the generational wealth for our own coming generation. So it's also smart if you look into business loans as well, because it's definitely going to help you grow your business. Another thing is networking. There is a lot of information out there, guys. You have to network within your area. And if you are shy or if you're an introvert, I definitely resonate with you because I am. Might not look like it online, but I am introverted. So I don't tend to go seek out people to talk to them. I'm very comfortable when people speak up to me first and then we strike a conversation and then we get it going. But actually networking, there are entrepreneurship incubators around that you can attend for free, and then they give you some resources free as well. They can also discount some services as well because they have partnership with social media content creators or marketing firms, things like that. But the only way you would be able to find out is if you actually go out there and network. Send that cold email, pick up your phone and call someone. Just ask a question. Like the worst thing that will happen is, oh, sorry, I can't help you right now. But that doesn't change your situation because you never had the help to start with. So if they say they can't help you, like you're still there, right? It's different if they've given you help and then they withdraw the help, then you definitely feel the difference there. So just put yourself out there, research, find out what is out there for you, and don't think there isn't anything out there for you, or don't think that the landscape isn't in your favor. You know, a coach acquaintance of mine told me this the other day at a networking event, case in point. At a networking event, and she reminded me that if you think the result is going to be negative, it's most likely going to be negative, because when you are preparing for that specific task, you're not putting your whole heart into it, because you're probably just doing it half-heartedly because you're like, I'm not sure I'm going to get it, so let's just put something together, just see what. So at least they will say I applied. They will not say I didn't apply, type of thing, right? But if you actually put out positive vibes out there and you actually put in work to do it, there's a strong probability that you're going to get what you actually request for, right? And I'm not saying I'm not into all this manifestation and all of that, but I'm just letting you know that it's a law in life. What you reap, you will sow. So if you reap good things, you will definitely. If you sow good things, or what you sow, you will. Wow, what you sow, you will reap. So if you sow good things, you will definitely reap good things. So explore, network, and take it one day at a time.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you have a rich father like you have a $10 or a Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or something, use them. Don't let anyone be like, oh, this person isn't a self-starter, or this person didn't come up. Please use them.
Make use of it. Yeah, I think that's how Amazon Jeff Bezos actually got to where he was. Because sometimes people say, oh, he started out of his what is it called, like his basement or whatever. I was like, yeah, he had his father's money as well. So let's calm down. You can't be comparing yourself to him. But anyways, I'm just looking at time, and as far as spam, and it's so good because I have so many things I want to talk about. But let's just do one last question, and then we do the rapid fire session, because I also want you to be able to talk about like life coaching, how people can reach you and stuff, because again, there's so much valuable knowledge. And guys, like, we can't say everything on this video, so book her services. I believe you're offering free consultations right now. So
I do.
these are the free resources.
Session is always free, guys.
These are the free resources to make use of. I mean, you're seeing the wealth of knowledge that Mary-Ann has to give. So make sure, I'm going to put her booking link and just the description of her work and her social media accounts, email, all that stuff in the description box. So make sure you check it out. So for the next 2 minutes or less, let's tackle the final question, which is, I know you're married, right? So 9 to 5, running a business, how do you find time for not just your spouse, but also like family members and friends? How have you struggled with doing that? And if you haven't struggled, help those of us who are struggling.
I've definitely struggled with it. I still struggle with it sometimes. I remember when I was still in very much in the thick of the start of my business, and someone would call me and I'm like, sorry, I need to go back to this bootcamp. exam class or whatever, like, oh, I'm very busy, or I put my phone on do not disturb, I forget to respond to emails. Hey, don't respond to emails, don't respond to texts. I'll respond like 2 days after, or 4 days, or a week even. So how I manage it now is by setting boundaries between my 9 to 5 and between entrepreneurship, and then between my relationships with my loved ones and my family, right? I set boundaries, and everyone, it's important for you to understand what those boundaries are. So even you yourself, you shouldn't be like shuttling in between your boundaries and not holding yourself accountable. So for example, for me in my 9 to 5, my team knows that once I'm off the clock, I'm off the clock. Yeah. Unless I say otherwise, unless I say, okay, you can still message me from this time to this time and I'll do what XYZ. Once I'm off the clock, I'm done. And once I come home, I put my work phone in the closet and I don't look at it until the next morning. That's just my principle. Except there's fire on the mountain, and then I have to take a look at it. And then when it comes to business, I have set days when I actually conduct my business. And you know this, Stephanie, because you've seen my calendar. There are days that I can be booked and there are days that you can't book. And when it comes to my family and my friends, so there's specific days I have for specific people. So when it comes to my parents, Sundays are for them. Except I tell them, oh, I'm not available this Sunday for a call. We would most likely get together on a Sunday and maybe one random day during the week. But during the week we are still texting each other, right? But they also know not to text me while I'm at work. And my siblings know this. My husband knows this, and my friends know this as well. But but my immediate family, especially, they know not to text me while I'm at work. If they do text me, or texting is fine, but when they call me, out of the blues while I'm at work, they know that I always take it as there's an emergency. Right? So they tend not to call me except it is really, really, really important. And it's the same thing with my parents. If my dad calls me out of the blue while I'm at my desk, I'm always, my first thing is like, is everything okay? What's going on? So they know that. So that's a boundary that I've set with them, right? And then my siblings, they always have access to me. They're my babies. Always have access to me, but there are times when they call me and I'm, hey, I have to focus on this. Can we talk later? They totally understand. But one habit that I've developed that has helped me when it comes to my friendships is whenever I think about someone, I'll send them a text. Even if I don't have their number, it could be social media. If I think about you, I'll message you. If I dream about that person, I'll either send a message or call. But most of the time, I'll just leave a text message and it's just going to be short and sweet. Hey, I had a dream about you. Give them the funny story that happened or whatever. Or I was thinking about you. I hope you're okay. Let's catch up soon. And I find that the text message is very helpful because you don't know when your text message actually puts a smile on their faces. Like, you don't know what they're going through. We're all very busy, so you don't know what everyone is going through at each moment of the day. So just sending a text message acknowledging that you're still thinking about them, that you care about them, goes a long way. And the other thing is I actually schedule my check-ins with my friends.
Nice. I should do that.
So whenever a friend of mine is like, hey, we haven't spoken in a while, I pull off my calendar. Everything goes on my calendar.
No,
every single thing goes on my calendar. So I pull off my calendar and I'm like, okay, I'm free on Sunday from this time to this time. How about we catch up then? And they would pull up their agenda or their planner and look at it and say, okay, I'm available this day. Let's catch up. And then we catch up then. And I also do it like via text message. Hey, I'm thinking about you for a while. When can we chat? This is my availability. And that has been very helpful when it comes to managing my relationships and all that. And even with my husband, we typically would look at like our schedule for the month and say, okay, what are we doing this month? Who are we going to visit? Where are we going to for like a break or maybe like a date if we want to, things like that. And once we have that in the calendar, then I don't book clients during that time. And I just make sure that I'm fully present whenever I'm at work, whenever I'm with my clients, and whenever I'm with my loved ones.
No, that's nice. I'm going to take these tips for sure. It's not like
but I'm not perfect. Well, I'm not perfect.
But
I'm spontaneous too.
Like my husband would say, you are doing better than most of us.
I can be very spontaneous as well.
Better than most of us, but no, those are valuable things to do. I think one area that I need to do much better, and I think because again, distance, like I think it's different if your friends are like close to you and stuff. Like in PEI, it was just easy to drop by and see people often. Like you go to the same church, you go to the same school, but a lot more effort is needed in this day and age to
No.
actually keep in touch with people, because people are spread across Canada and even back home, right? So no,
Yep.
definitely taking those tips. Yes, we have like 5 minutes. I don't know if you have time for rapid questions, but maybe let's do one. What's
Okay.
one, since you're a book head, I hope that's not I think that's a normal term, but since you love reading books,
Yeah.
what's one book that you're enjoying reading right now that you can recommend to us?
I'm not reading anything right now. I just started reading a book, so I haven't really gotten too deep into it to
Into
say
it,
I
yeah.
would recommend it. I've been reading a lot of fiction lately, but one book that I read at the beginning of this year that I think everyone really needs to read. And you know what I'm doing? I just put two books out there.
Okay.
And this is for the self-development girlies and guys out there. The first one is the 12-week year.
Okay.
You need to read that book, especially when it comes to setting goals and executing your plan and measuring and monitoring your goals. That book is for you.
Yeah.
The 12-week year. And then the second one is Atomic Habits.
Oh yeah, I started that one.
Atomic Habits, I feel like everyone needs to read it at the start of the new year, or you need to read it periodically.
Yeah.
It is really good when it comes to breaking down how to like set habits and how to break bad habits as well. And it's not like, and those two books are not like your generic self-care or self-development books where it feels like the author is just droning on and on and on. It's actually practical tips that you can apply, and I've applied it to my life, and it makes a world of difference. So those two books, I will recommend it.
Awesome. Well, just shy of 2 minutes. Thank you so much, Mary-Ann. It's been
You're very
absolutely
welcome.
amazing having you.
Thanks
I
for
think,
having me.
yeah, no, like you're a perfect podcast first guest. The best there actually is. But in 1 minute, just tell us about like your services and where folks can contact you.
Sure. So, as you guys have heard throughout this podcast, I am a life coach and also a career coach as well. So, I help my clients balance their career goals and their personal goals. Career wise, I help my clients identify their career paths and the industries that they want to work in. So, that can be reviewing resumes, interview prep, doing a SWOT analysis, and actually helping them identify what they want to do. And then personal goals, I help you with like your goal assessment. I help you navigate new changes in your life. It's my services start with a free session. So if you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me at thecoachmaryann@gmail.com. So Maryann, Maryann, no E. And on Instagram, you can follow me at thecoachmaryann. And I have my booking link in the bio, so you can go on ahead and book your free consultation session as well. And if you want to read my thoughts on different topics, you can subscribe to my newsletters on Substack, coachmaryann.substack.com. And website is coming soon, so stay tuned. And if you want to know more about coaching, follow along on Instagram.
Yeah, so I'm going to put all of those links in the description just so folks don't misspell Mary-Ann without an E rather.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. It's been an amazing time. I've learned
Thanks
a
for having
lot.
me. This has
Yeah.
been nice. I love people. I love talking to people. I love helping people figure things out. So I do apologize if I went on and on at several
No,
times.
no, no. You did great. Thank you. And we've come to the end of this episode. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely learned a lot as someone who's also running a business and working part-time, running a business full-time and working part-time, although that might change. But just want to say a really huge thank you to Mary-Ann Lamar. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for sharing your wealth of knowledge. I didn't even know I had someone like this around me. So it's absolutely amazing to hear you speak and just the wealth of knowledge that you shared freely. That was an amazing episode. If you liked it, please share, be engaged. And if you would like to be the next entrepreneur on Motari Media, share your journey, share your experience, help other small business owners as well. Make sure that you send me a DM on Instagram at Motari Media, or you can send me an email at motarimedia@gmail.com. Thank you so much for being here. I value your time. I value you. Gonna do great and succeed. Until the next episode. See you there.